Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Adel Hameed, the instructor of the course Introduction to Literature, and welcome to the fourth lecture of today. Today, we will discuss the analysis of the poem Amoretti Sonnet 75, written by Edmund Spenser. So, we will depend on the 10 steps that we have studied before in analyzing the present poem. And uh, as we mentioned before, that we have 10 steps. The first step is uh, we need to look at the title, the form and shape, and then we need to read it aloud, and then we need to identify the voice, who is the speaker, and then subject, setting, and word repetition, and rhyme and rhythm, poetic devices, imagery, mood, and what is the message conveyed by this poem. So let us start. Let us start with Edmund Spenser biography. As we mentioned before, that it is very important to know some information about the biography of the poet, because this can give us some background about the age he or she belongs to, and also to know some of the reasons behind writing such kind of poem. So Edmund Spenser was born in 1552 or 1553 and died 1599. Spenser was English subject during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I, and so since he was just one of the followers of the Queen Elizabeth I, so we can say that he belongs to what age? He belongs to the Elizabethan age. Whose court he aspired? He was sent to Ireland in an official mission, and there he met and wooed Elizabeth Boyle, a young woman from important English family who was probably half of his age. His year-long suit to win her hand in marriage is recorded with a deal of poetic license and Spenser's Amoretti, a sequence of 89. So he has written uh, his story with Elizabeth Boyle in a form of sequence of sonnets and call it Amoretti. And this sequence of sonnets consists of 89 sonnets. And the sonnets we are studying today is sonnet number 75. So sonnet number 75 is taken from Edmund Spenser poem Amoretti, which was published in 1595. So 4 years before his death. The poem has been fragmented into short sonnets, and the name of Amoretti itself means little Cupid, as we mentioned before. So let us discuss the summary of the poem. The summary of the poem. So Edmund Spenser and his girl Elizabeth Boyle were walking along the beach, and then they sat, and then he picked up a stick and wrote her name in sand. And then the waves came and wiped it out. So did it again, and by writing her name in the sand, but using his second hand. Then she says something. So uh, she had some reaction to what he has done. So she said something to him, which could be ironic and funny. And then he's going to say something back to her, which we will get its point at the end of the poem. So we will know that which one of them was right. So why did the poem write the poem? Spenser has written a collection or sequence of sonnets about his girl to tell her that he loves him. So, and the second reason, he would like to immortalize the name of his beloved girl. So let us just to have a look the the sonnet. Here we have a sonnet, and we have we need to know first the first step. What's the form or the type of the poem? So here we have a sonnet of 14 lines. So, and we need to look at the rhyme scheme of the poem, stanza by stanza. So you see here, so strand A, way B, and A again, pray B, essay B, you see here, B and B, immortalized, new rhyme, C, decay B, likewise, C, device C, fame D, eternize C, name D, and couplet at the end. And we mentioned that the couplets, both of the lines, they have the same rhyme. So G and G, so subdue and renew. So we can, this is the rhyme scheme of the poem. And each one of the stanzas here has its own rhyme. You see here, stanza number one here, and this is the rhyme scheme. And stanza number two, here we have rhyme scheme, and stanza number four, and we can and also stanza number four. So one, two, three, four. Three stanzas. Each one of them consists of 4 lines. So what kind of stanza we have here? We have quatrain because it consists of 4 lines. So the stanza number one, stanza number two, three, all of them, they are quatrains. And stanza number four, here we have 2 lines, which is couplets. Couplets. So according to the form, so 3 quatrain and 1 couplet, we can say it is a sonnet. What kind of sonnet we have here? We have the English sonnet, right? English sonnet, because it consists of 3 quatrain and 1 couplet. So this is the form and the rhyme of the poem. Let us analyze the poem stanza by stanza. So here we have stanza number one. So one day I wrote her name upon the strand, but came the waves and washed it away. Again I write it with the second hand, but came the tide and made my pains his prey. So we can just look at the first line here, that we have what here, and the second line, sorry, we have personification. But in the first line, we have imagery. We have here imagery because he is writing or he is describing a picture as if we are watching a movie or we are watching a picture of what a lover writing the name of his beloved lady on the side. So here we have imagery. What kind of imagery? We have visual imagery because it's describing a picture that we can just in our sense. In the second line, but came the waves and washed it away. So here, as if the waves is a person, and the waves came as if he or she, for example, or people coming and washed it away. And here we have personification. So Again, I write it with the second hand. Okay. But came the tide. Again, so the same. Came the tide, and we have also personification. And here in fourth, in line number 4, we have the clear personification, because here just the poet using what, and made my pains his prey, his prey. So his is used for a person, not for a tide. A tide means المد، مد الماء. and المد والمد الماء شيء جامد، فلا يستخدم his مع هذا الشيء. لكن here the poet using personification. okay. التشخيص أو إعطاء صفات آدمية إلى شيء غير آدمي. So we have here personification. And in line number 4, we have alteration. Alteration. We have here, we have the sound P is repeated, the initial sound, in 2 words in sequence. And as we have studied before, this case can be called alteration. Alteration. And you see here, as I mentioned before, that his is a reference of using personification, tide and his. So here we have something done by the poet that he just using to write the name of his beloved lady on the sand. So let us see what is her reaction. شنو ردة فعل حبيبته على ما قام به. الآن هو حاول أن يكتبها أكثر من مرة، لكن المد والأمواج مسحت الاسم. So وهي الآن هذا الشيء اللي صار أمام أنظارها. So what is her reaction? شنو ردة فعلها؟ Let us see in the stanza number 2. Vain man, vain man, said she, that dost in vain essay. رجل مغرور منشغل بعمل لا طائلة منه، دون فائدة. لاحظ useless, futile. انه انت شخص عابث وقاعد تعمل شيء غير ما له طائلة، ما له فائدة، شيء ما راح يؤدي الى نتيجة. Let us see why in second. لاحظ راح تشرح ليش انه ما يقوم به الشاعر هو شيء غير مجدي. A mortal thing so to immortalize. إن الشيء الفاني الذي يموت so to immortalize من الصعب أن يخلد. الشيء اللي له نهاية لا يمكن أن يخلد. For I myself shall lie to this decay. لأنني نفسي أنا سأموت. لا. I will die. Decay. One of the names of death. أحد أسماء الموت. Okay. And eke my name. وكذلك eke also means my name be wiped out like. وسيمحى اسمي كذلك من الوجود. مثل ما المد والأمواج مسحت اسمي من الرمال، أنا راح أموت، وهذا الموت راح يمسح اسمي من الوجود، مثل ما مسحت الأمواج اسمي من الرمال. Stanza number 3. Not so. Here لاحظ احنا قلنا الشاعر حاول يكتب stanza number 1. stanza number 2 رد فعلها على ما قاله وسبب اللي قالت، يعني انطت رأي وانطت بعدين justification، تبرير لرأيها. الآن we have reaction back. عندنا رد فعل مقابل لما قالته هي من قبل الشاعر. Not so could I, like basic things device. ليس كذلك قلت لها أنا. دع الأمور التافهة الدنيوية تذهب بعيدا ولا تصبح مثالا. To die in dust, وتموت في وتموت في التراب من الأشياء الدنيوية. And here we have alteration. We have the sound D repeated in the initial of words, initial sound repeated and die dust. So here we have alteration. لاحظ انه الاشياء الفانيه الوجوديه تموت, but you انت shall live by fame. ستعيشين بسمعتك, بالصيت نقول بالعامية او السمعه او الشهره. How شلون راح تحصل على هذه الشهره؟ My verse اشعاري شعري, your virtues rare shall eternize, ستخلد فضائلك أو ميزاتك الجميلة النادرة ستخلدها. من اللي خلدها؟ الشعر. And in the heavens write your glorious name, وستكتب اسمك مضيئا في السماء. And here the final couplet, where when us death shall all the world subdue, وحينما يحل الظلام وتنتهي كافة ويطفئ أضواء العالم, our love shall live and later life renew. حبنا سيعيش and later life, وفي الحياة الأخرى renew سيتجدد. And here the sound L is repeated in many different words in sequence initially. So we have here also alteration. This couplet, the final couplet, embraces the theme of the poem. يحتوي على ثيمة القصيدة. الثيمة الرئيسية للقصيدة موجودة في هذين البيتين الأخيرين اللي هم الكابلت. That their love will not fade, unlike other mortal things on it. حبهم ما راح ينتهي مثل الأشياء الفانية عنها. This is the general explanation of the poem. So let us discuss the poetic and literary devices used by the poet in the poem. First, imagery. So here, one day I wrote her name upon the sky, but came the waves and washed away. Here we have visual imagery. So as if he is describing a picture for us, as if we are looking at this picture here, as if by these words, just writing in our mind a picture like this. So we can say that we have visual imagery. Number two, alteration and the repetition. Number two, alteration, we have 4 cases or 3 cases of alteration: die, dust, verse, virtue, love, live, later, life. And also we have repetition, تكرار لبعض الكلمات. لاحظ ان كلمة vain man, said she that dost in vain. وتكرار الكلمة له تأثير وله معنى بالقصيدة. أيضا تكرار كلمات متعددة لكنها تحتوي على نفس المعنى. لاحظ decay, die, death, different words with the same meaning. كلهم يموت, موت, موت. Most of them, all of them. And then symbolism. The poet used many symbols in the poem, as we will see here. So first, C. C can be a symbol, represents the distance that between the lover and his beloved, which causes pain to the lover. So here the distance that just moving or just breaking the bridges between them. The writing on the sand, كتاب على الرمال, refers to the lover's insistence on making a worthy impact on his beloved. رمز لمحاولة أو إصرار الكاتب على تخليد العلاقة بينهم. The waves, الأمواج, are just can represent the constant reminder of cruelty of love. الأمواج هي رمز لقساوة الحب. Hunting again and again, but washing away the name and of the love. The wave acts a current of torrent of torture. لاحظ أنه في كل مرة تأتي الأمواج هي تسبب ألم ومعاناة وعذاب إلى الحبيب حينما تمسح هذه الأسماء. وهذه just رمز لقسوة الحب. The waves also signify time. يمكن أن ترمز إلى الزمن أو الوقت. The erasing of the name of water signifies the transient nature of human life. ومحو الاسم من قبل الأمواج يرمز أو رمز لطبيعة الفناء في حياة الإنسان. إنه لكل شيء نهاية. كل شيء سينتهي. The seaside or beach, حافة البحر أو ساحل البحر, symbolize a peaceful, comfortable place where the lover unreservedly express themselves. The lover writing on the sand can be a reference to man's inherent desire to utilize his being in the world. كتابة المحب على الرمال هي رمز لإصرار أو رغبة الإنسان في تخليد أو رغبة الشاعر في تخليد حبيبته. Personification. One day I wrote her name upon the strand, but came the waves. You see here? Came the waves. Came as if a person came. And again I wrote hand, but came the tide, and here just using his, which is would just refer to a person, a human being, but the tide is not. So we have here personification in stanza number 1. The main themes of the poem. What are the main themes of the poem? In each poem, when we analyze a poem, we need to identify the main themes of the poem. So the theme number 1 is transience. الفناء. الفناء أي لا شيء يبقى للأبد. كل شيء سيموت. Transience. الفناء. هذا الثيمة الأولى للقصيدة. Even though death might separate them for the time being, but the poem strongly refers that they will be together again after death because he believed in life after death, and that the love he had for his wife could never tear them apart. انه هو كان عنده اعتقاد رغم انه ثيمة الفناء موجودة اللي صرحت بها الحبيبة، لكن هو عنده اصرار وايمان ان الحب سيستمر حتى بعد الموت، لانه يؤمن بحياة ما بعد الموت، انه بالحياة الاخرى سينهض من جديد. Theme number 2, theme immortality of spiritual love. خلود الحب الروحي وليس المادي. المادي سينتهي، لكن الحب العلاقة الروحية، الحب الروحي سيبقى. This poem is said to have been written on Spenser's love affair and eventual marriage to Elizabeth Boyle. His second life, Sonnet 75, centers on the immortality of spiritual love and temporarily of physical love. لاحظ انه الابديه للحب الروحي والوقتيه للحب المادي. Number 3, poetry can immortalize love. القيمة الأخرى الثالثة هو إمكانية الشعر على تقليد الحب. It is a poem about man promising eternal love and his beloved one. He avoids his lover's realistic worries about the loss of love due to death with enchanting words, but love can be immortalized through verse. وهذه المسألة انه اذا نريد نعرف which one of them is right or was right انه منو كان بهم على حق, we can say that he was right. هو كان على حق. والدليل على ذلك انه هذه القصيدة كتبت في عام 1559, اي تقريبا قبل 422 سنة, ولا مازال الى الان نتذكر اسم حبيبته ونستذكر اسمها ومفاتنها وصفاتها ونوع العلاقه الموجوده بيناتهم. by what or through what؟ خلال من؟ through the verse, through the poetry, من خلال الشعر الذي خلد لنا هذه العلاقه لمده اكثر من 422. These are the main themes of the poem. The message of the poem. What kind of message sent by the poem? The true love will not fade away like other mortal things on it. الحب الحقيقي لن يزول أو يتلاشى بعيدا مثل بقية الأشياء المادية على الأرض, وإنما سيستمر, سيخلد. Okay, this is the main message of the poem. هذه هي الرسالة الرئيسية لهذه القصيدة. So, thank you very much indeed, and I hope that you enjoyed the poem and its analysis. Thank you very much. Stay safe, and please take care of yourself and your family, please. Thank you very much indeed.